All right, finally live, and today we're doing a training on HighLevel's new AI studio. It's just like Loveable, with a few important changes, and I'm going to also bring to light a bunch of things that I've been seeing that concerned me about people exposing their data on when building apps through Loveable and other things like that. Like I saw an article about a guy who ended up getting like thousands of dollars stolen from him because his Stripe API key was on the front end of his website, well, in the code. So someone just looked at the HTML code and there's his API key for Stripe, and they ran his card for I don't know how much, or maybe sometimes they'll use that to process fraudulent transactions and things like that. So something you definitely can't have happen. So I'm going to explain like what this AI Studio editor is and um, the difference between that and like an app that's actually secure and how people are making this mistake. I'm gonna start out just by showing you guys the feature. You have to go turn it on first. I've already done it before, and I'm still gonna walk you guys through how to do it. You go agency view, you go to settings, or yeah, settings and then labs, and it's in the sub account level right here. AI Studio, you want to turn that on. And the way you turn it on, you activate feature, select all, bulk actions, enable access. Then you're going to go into your sub account and hit the AI Studio right here. And from here, it's just like Lovable. You literally are going to describe what you want, and it's going to build it. You can give it another web page and say clone this web page, and now it will actually give you an exact clone. So what it's creating is a JavaScript React front end. JavaScript React is really fast. It's what High Level is built on. It's what my app's built on. It's what most apps are built on these days. Um, the difference between that and like a full-fledged app is that Lovable and some other tools, they'll actually create a database for you as well. So the front end is like the website. The database is like what most of us use High Level for. It stores all the contact details, or any details like your passwords, like your client's passwords, all that kind of stuff needs to be somewhere where it can't be accessed without authentication. So it can't be on the code of your site. So what you can do is you can build the front end here. Now, once you've created the front end of your app, you can usually just look at the front end and understand how it's supposed to work. So if you download your front end and dump it into Claude Code or dump it into something else, like a bunch of different platforms. Claude Code, I use GPT Codex. Then you can connect the database, and Claude Code can then make edits to your front end and to your database. I use Codex. It gets you a lot more tokens cheaper. It's, to my opinion, better for development. I use Claude for planning. If you were to try to update your database here, this thing doesn't have the password keys to be able to go in and edit your database. So you really need something separate. You need something installed on your local machine where it has credentials to go and edit your database. I use Supabase, your Vercel, which is where you're going to host your React front end and where it can do all that stuff. If you were to even try to give this your API keys to be able to access Supabase, guess what? Now you've exposed those keys on the front end of your website. So you can't do it that way. Still really, really cool. So I'm going to say make a copy of, I probably should just give it a website where it's not just going to be a login screen. This is a really cool site. One of my clients. Let's try that one. I don't know how long this thing takes, but one of the nuances that is why you don't want to um, use high level as the database in a lot of situations. If it's just for a website, sure. But if you need to be able to log in and see reporting quickly, if you're trying to have an app where there's reporting, or you want to log in and your clients see all their invoices or something like that, it needs to be loaded instantly. If you use high level as your database and you send high level an a request, say, hey, pull this information, it's going to take like 15 to 30 seconds to load. And I'm telling you, I did this because I did it that way first too. Your clients are going to be submitting tickets thinking that it's broken, but they're just not waiting long enough. And so you just can't do it that way. That's what a real app builder is for. And I used to be the one arguing, why wouldn't you just use high level? Well, now I understand. So high level is awesome for a lot of stuff, but um, when you need to have something that people can interact with quickly, if you're trying to manage an onboarding process, which is what my app does, it needs to be like that. Time is money in that situation when you got a client trying to solve a problem with you. So, um, that is the main, like the pretty much through and through what I was going to show on the training today. Another thing that's really cool I want to show is how far I've gotten with my app, which I started in a builder just like this. So for me, it started using Claude Code and, or no, Claude, just in browser. And I was looking at artifacts and you could turn on AI artifacts. Well, what that is in Claude, in chat, it'll generate a React front end. It's doing the same thing this is doing. And then I got to the point where I was hitting limits. I needed a database. And that's when I started to understand the need to transition into a different setup. So over the past month, this is how far I've gotten. This is my onboarding tool. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but you can have agents go and do all types of stuff. Like it looks like this may be getting worked on right now. It's flickering for some reason. I'm gonna try to refresh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I think it stopped. So basically, I upload everything for a client. First, it's gonna read messages. That's usually where my most condensed like proposal email is gonna be. It's gonna build a scope. And then it's going to start reading the transcripts. I've told this person do not call like 16 times, keeps calling. And it's an AI call. I want to, but I answered and tried to get their company name and they wouldn't give it to me. So now I just ignore it every single day. But um, I was trying, what was I telling you guys about? Yeah, so then it reads the transcripts and it first off it's flagging anything in the transcript that it thinks might be useful for planning the deliverable or executing it and marking it. And then it's also enhancing the deliverables, right? Enhancing that scope section. Then it reads all the other files. It looks at images, videos, whatever else I've uploaded, and it retitles them. So it's like, this is what this is. This is what it's useful for. Here's the relevant parts for the deliverable. And so it generates it shows all the items right here, and then it generates this section here, this phase and scope. So for this client, she has DM setters booking people for her golf coaching program, right? She helps older guys fix their golf swing. And she's got real people in the DMs following her DM conversation script. So Carrie tells me she wants to make a pipeline where she can track the stages and have an AI that's able to walk clients through that process and see where people are getting stuck. So I gave it the DM script. I gave it all this. I gave it all these resources. Um, and what it's going to do is make each deliverable an item here. DM conversation AI, the knowledge base, and some things are dependent on other things. Like the nurtures are going to be. I'm going to use the knowledge base to generate that. I'm not going to go back to the website. So you go in, and it's going to auto suggest, but then you proof check. You can add current deliverables. So I can add like, hey, this is going to come from the knowledge base, which it actually is. And that's going to create a dependency, which means it has to be generated after we generate the knowledge base. And that functionality lets it be flexible to all sorts of other types of projects. And then you can also pin any of the current artifacts. And now this flicker that's happening, I've never seen that before. I'll go report that and it'll be fixed instantly. But once you approve this section here, you approve it right there, it's going to generate everything else. So it generates literally everything. I've got templates for how I do everything. It even made this whole pipeline, all the automations, and you guys see they're pretty specific. Lead assignment, adding to the nurture. And I can tell from looking at it, this is accurate. This is better than probably what my team would have come up with. The knowledge base and the glitch I'm seeing is, yeah, let me fix it. It's flickering, and then somehow this is going stale, which is causing me to lose the sections I was actually going to show you guys. So I'm going to show you how I fix it. This is where I actually do my work. right now this is updating this high level workflow for me. Looks like I can't scroll over. Hmm. I don't know why I can't scroll, but I need to go here and say Carrie's page is flickering and her project phases was marked stale again for no reason, as far as I can tell. And it's no longer showing all the approved sections again. Now, we need to make sure, because I fixed this last time, the no approved section should ever disappear, even if an earlier section that was dependent on is marked stale, unless I choose to update the previously approved stale item that the later sections are dependent on. I know that sounded really confusing, but that is right. And so you kick it into plan mode and go like this. So my app that I'm building, the whole intention is that you'll be able to actually create whole apps and build your whole high level accounts securely, keeping your passwords protected without having to go into a system like this and connect Supabase and connect Vercel. So it's kind of like Base 44 or Lovable, except it has all my logic for high level builds and it knows everything about high level, all the custom fields, your exact system and the plans, what needs to be changed, um, uh, the shortcut keys that we use on high level to control to like do things quickly, the full API. So it's got a lot of setup knocked out. I mean, it's taken me like 2 months to build it, so it'll save you guys about 2 months. And I wanted to go and see. It looks like it might be done with this. Let's see what it said. Okay, so it says that it finished building this workflow, and it used to have 6 steps. I'm gonna make sure it's saved. So I'm gonna refresh. And let's see how well it did at building this workflow. Sure enough, none of this was here. Amazing. So yeah, it's full on building workflows. This is my memory sync that logs every time anybody sends me any message, has an AI call, sends me an email, anything, it's sending that over into the planning system. Like, so if Carrie sent me an email right now, it would immediately be fed over into the app I was just showing you guys. Um, Hopefully this is done soon. I'll show you the rest. But yep, we've got full on high level build capability now. And so the plan that I showed you guys is in enough detail that then I can actually install it. Now, where was I even showing you guys that? Here we go. Yeah. So it even has like a full on builder for conversation AI and voice AI. That was a really cool looking section. I was excited to show you guys, but there's that glitch keeping me from getting that deep into it. It's now being fixed. Can you see any reason why Carrie should have actually been marked stale? We need to fix that root cause as well, if there was nothing. But yep. So that's what I'm working on. I think that about covers it. So I'll open it up. I know Mariette joined right as I started my training. Mariette, what's up? Is there anything, any updates for me? Anything you need help with?
Still working on my master doc, but you should have that in the next 2 days.
All right. I was able to drop that right in here. Cool. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad Mel introduced us. That was a fun combo.
Yeah. No,
It
I'm
was.
excited for this. So what I used in the builder under sites, is that for my AI? Is that the same thing that you just showed us? The interface looked different.
Ah, the builder for you built with the high level AI builder. No, this is new. So
Okay.
the high level AI builder builds like a high level builder style website, which is kind of like a WordPress style website. It's
Yeah.
their own builder. It's really HTML code is what it is. Um, what this new builder does, it's a React, it's a JavaScript front end. So
Mhm.
it's like this would have been a more expensive type of website. Um, but now you can build them instantly. So, and they're more flexible. You can then go in here and just prompt the change and it's definitely going to look better um than the high level builder. So
Okay.
you can just say, hey, here's my rough draft from a high level site. You can give it the link to it and say, I want to
Hmm.
redo this in React. The thing is, you have to host a React website in something like Vercel. Um, for my clients, website building projects, I've got a skill stack that's similar to what's going on with HighLevel's AI Studio. So like in the same part where I'm showing all these other sections I'm showing you guys, I've got a skill that builds a React front end, automatically hosts it on Vercel for the client, and then it it's a whole
Yep.
sequence of things that I use to make it happen. But that's gonna get you a better quality website
Well, that's why I'm
than
paying your team.
yeah.
I'll just have them do it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be able to redo it for you like that. The
Yeah.
websites and ads are the two next things that I'll be polishing now that I've got the high level build part done. Because most of my work is high level build, and then ads and websites are the next two
Hmm.
most common, and then I'll be knocking those out too. The cool thing
Sweet.
about our stack is the way I've set it up. There's really two parts of a stack. One part looks at a template library of really high quality sites to like set a baseline for like what we're going for. And then it looks at a library of pre-made UI elements that it can use to add really high quality elements quickly. And then it builds the front end, but it also integrates what's called post hog. Post hog gives you analytics of where people are going on your site, what they're clicking, where they're stopping. And so then it feeds that post hog analytics in real time back into the website to create A/B tests that are changing the copy. So it's like actually updating automatically in real time based on visitor behavior, which is
Where do
crazy.
they come up with the names for these apps? It's crazy.
I don't know. I saw one of those TikTok videos and they're like, you'll never guess what happens if you connect this and that. And I just transcribe the TikTok videos and I throw them in and I'm like, go ahead and connect all this stuff for me. And so that's how I
Genius.
do it. Yep.
Master
So,
coder.
well, guys, I'll have a lot more to show, but I'd say in 2 weeks, I'll have my app ready for people to use on their own for the planning phase. And it'll get your whole plan ready. And then I'm going to have an upcharge for people that are actually going to use it to build their own high level accounts. If you're one of my clients, then we'll build it on our side, but other agencies will be able to sign up and have a whole agency, agentic agency set up where you can do your websites, your SEO, and everything in much higher quality than before, all with AI. So I'll keep you guys updated. There's the next training on Thursday. Unless something major happens, the update's going to be about high level finally enabled email for the conversation AI. For some reason, email was excluded from it. You had WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, SMS, voice, everything but email. Um, I kind of thought the reason they were doing that is because there's so much, their emails, you can say the wrong thing pretty easily because clients are going to ask you complex questions, like lists of questions about your call you had with them in an email. But this memory unification flow makes that possible. It covers the whole plan and everything like that. So with that, if you give it enough context, it'll work just fine. So just make sure if you're going to enable email that you pay me first to get your thing set up right. Well, thank you guys. I'm gonna go get some food, and I'll see you Thursday at 1. And Mariette, I'm waiting on your call. I can't wait to see you.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
Thank you.
thanks everybody. I'll
Bye.
see you guys soon.